Today we're going to be going over some of the very best fragrances that you can purchase for under $100. As time goes on, you know, prices are always changing. So at the time of recording this video, everything is available on discounters for under $100. And I think most of these are far away enough from that $100 threshold to where I don't see them going over it, because some of these are around $50, some even like $40 or so. So a wide range. I think we have like actually none that get close to $100. So maybe I should edit the title. We could probably say everything is under like $75 here. So maybe I'll do that. So no matter what we're talking about here, we're going to keep it pretty affordable, not going crazy. Of course, they're all designers here. And again, I'll drop links to everything down below. You can't go to retailers and buy these and stay within this price range, okay? So make sure you're shopping on discounters. We're going to get things kicked off with Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisée. Love the bottle on this too. I like these older ones, you know, like they've changed the bottles a little bit over the years, like the new Reserve Privé is a little bit different, I think. But these are a little bit more classic. This is all about the sandalwood, the peppers, a little bit of a peppery, spicy kick, creamy smooth, a little bit of iris in here coming over from the Eau de Parfum, of course. But what this is just a smoother take, less sweet, not something that I would consider to be fresh, but it's just not as sweet, if that makes sense. They're lightening it up a little bit, but not making it a fresh flanker either, which makes it more of a middle ground. The best way to describe this one for people who have tried, you know, maybe a couple of the others, or if you just want to be able to look at it on paper, this is right in between Gentleman EDP and the Eau de Toilette Intense. Okay, so EDP is going to be sweeter. This is in the middle. The Eau de Toilette Intense is going to be fresher. And so that's kind of where this one falls. You have a gradual ramp, and it makes it a little bit easier to fine tune based on what you're looking for. You don't want to go too fresh. You don't want to go too sweet either with the EDP or even Reserve Privé. This is going to be a great one for you, making it perfect for those in-between times of the year. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to choose what you want to wear and work things out. Fall, like the beginning parts of fall when it's a little bit warm, a little bit cold, you know, early kind of middle parts of spring when it's a little warm, a little cold. So that's a perfect time to wear this one, you know, and it really has a nice refined smell to it. It's actually pretty expensive smelling for what it is, just kind of a nice high-end designer smell and wearing experience, but not a super high price. Usually I think going to be around like $60 or something, 100 ml full pres, not bad at all. Really nice scent for the money. This next one is usually around about 40, and sometimes it'll go on sale, but we'll go with 40. It is Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it here. This is just the time of year to be wearing this one, and so I recommend that if you like this and you know you really want to enjoy the most out of it, wear it in fall and winter time, because at least for me, sometimes I forget, you know, and it sounds crazy. Oh, you like it that much, but you forget about it. But when you have a wide selection and you're testing new things is the main thing that gets me, then I don't make time for the older stuff that I have that I enjoy. And so I'm making a mental note, I'm going to wear this as much as I can while I can, because as soon as we get into about March, I'm starting to move things around a little bit, and so I want to wear it as much as I can while it's cold outside. But it's all about the vanilla and the benzoin with a little bit of ambroxan off the opening, which gives it not a freshness, but just a bright kick. And then that dissipates. You get into that sweet, creamy vanilla and a little bit of a powdery benzoin kind of tonka bean feel as well. It's one of the best vanilla designer affordable fragrances on the market. If you don't like vanilla as a standalone, stay far away from this, because that is all that it is really. This next one is the original Valentino Uomo. I've talked about this one a lot as well, so I'm not going to stay on it for too long, but I just had to throw it in here because it is almost too good for the price. You would expect this to be a little bit more. You would expect it to be more in line with basically all of the others, Uomo Intense, the Born in Romas, which are usually hovering somewhere around $80 or so, $90 even, but it's not. It's like 50-ish, 50 to 55. Testers, you know, for around that, maybe full presentation is about 60 or something, but it's really, really fair price point. It has been around the longest. There's basically zero hype behind it, so there's no external sources that are driving up the price, meaning that there is just an abundance of it out there. And also, again, nobody's talking about it. So it's just they're selling it for what makes the most sense to actually be able to move some bottles. And so, I mean, get this while you can. Not that it's going away, but it's just such a good scent for the money. Using a ton of hazelnut, chocolate, coffee, leather, and a little bit of iris. And even though it has all that, still kind of fresh too. Yet another very versatile wearable scent that you can spend $55, $60 on and get your money's worth out of it. You can wear it often and feel like it was a good investment. It's not just going to sit there and collect dust. I think we're going to stick with, well, a little bit of a lower price point here, about 40 to 45 maybe, somewhere around in there. We have John Varvatos XX Artisan, really cool kind of metallic gray bottle here. I don't know, you can't really see it on camera. Well, maybe you can. It just has this metallic flake in that gray finish. It looks really cool. It's actually one of my favorite John Varvatos bottles, even though it maybe doesn't look like anything to write home about. It's just the feel of it, the look is just really modern and cool looking, just this platinum kind of gray. It's awesome. This one has vetiver, Sichuan pepper, and bitter orange. That orange is carrying over from the original Artisan years and years back. It's been passed down through the line here. I'm glad to see it. But what this is a vetiver flanker. Every designer brand, for the most part, has some sort of vetiver flanker, just like every brand almost has an iris flanker and a tobacco and this and that. Obviously, notes go through different trends, and at one point, vetiver was a common one. This one, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit late to that, but nonetheless, we still have it. And I see why, because vetiver in multiple forms is just so versatile. So this is the type of thing that you could buy as a signature scent and wear it for anything. Spring, summer, fall, winter, formal, casual, doesn't matter. Again, I already mentioned the price. It's a 125 ml bottle. So you're not going to be, completely hard on the wallet by running through this one fast, wearing it every day. It's very reasonable. And if you have to buy it, however often, depending on how much you wear, a couple times a year or maybe once a year or something, I don't know. I don't know how long it would take you to get through it. That's not bad at all. Obviously, you don't have to wear it as a signature scent either. You could toss it on whenever you're in a hurry and you just need something that's fresh, clean, soapy, so you can get out the door, and that's what this one is. Nice soapy vetiver here, and again, it smells great for the money. We're gonna go with a clone up next. I did throw in just a couple clones here, just because in particular, what these are a clone of is very expensive. Sometimes there are clones of things where you might be able to save like $40 or $50 by buying the clone, which is great. That's great savings. But in this instance, you're saving like, 200 and, well, actually you're saving about $300 by buying this versus the real one, which is crazy. It's Rasasi Hawas Kobra. So this one is a clone of Louis Vuitton Imagination, coming in at, I don't know, it's $330 plus tax. So over 300 and, maybe right around 350, I don't know. This is $40, so you're saving over $300 by getting this instead. And I'm telling you, it is so remarkably close that it would really be tough. And I don't know if I personally could tell them apart. It depends, on if I tried it, I guess, and if I got lucky. Some things you definitely can, depending on the accuracy and how much time you spent with it. I've smelled Imagination quite a bit. I've had a few other clones here and there, and I love how it smells. Something like Creed Aventus, I think a lot of times I would be able to maybe tell, and there's some few other things that I have worn so much over the years that I'm so familiar with it. Imagination's still a bit newer to me, and again, this is so close that it would be to the point where you would like feel weird if you bought Imagination and then bought this. That's how close they are, and you might get a little bit of buyer's remorse at that point. It's all about that black tea and the citrus and some of the light woods in here and musk. Such a clean, refreshing, and just expensive smell. No other way to put it. It smells premium, and that's kind of the name of the Louis Vuitton game. A lot of their stuff is amazing. It's just the prices are outrageous. You cannot get them anywhere other than LouisVuitton.com or in Louis Vuitton stores. Like, they don't even sell in other retailers. They're even more exclusive than Chanel, which is just already extremely regulated, and it's just kind of annoying and, again, very expensive. Get this instead. You're gonna save a ton of money and get a product that just does the same thing for less. This next one is La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum. It's actually fresher than La Nuit de l'Homme, which is so weird. You know, I don't know why. I think at that point they were trolling us because we were all begging for older school La Nuit de l'Homme to come back, bring back that rich cardamom, that more vintage smell. And they came out with La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum, and we're all thinking, maybe this is going to be it. And then you take a look at the note breakdown, and it's wildly different, but you're still hopeful. And then you smell it, and it's just nowhere close. And again, it's just, I'm sure they weren't actually trying to do that, but that's kind of what it felt like when this came out. But nonetheless, it is one that I still really like, and it's under 100. Now, this one's probably, it's the most expensive one in this video, actually. 75.80, so this is still under 100, maybe just a touch over my 75 price point that I modified there, but nonetheless, still a good price. This one basically has fruity notes and black pepper and a little bit of vanilla, but it's not super strong. Basically, instead of cardamom, it's black pepper and, again, fruity notes instead of like, you know, a lavender, clean freshness to go along with the spices. And then, again, a bit of vanilla, but it's not, again, as sweet as you would expect. It's just interesting. It's just brighter and a little bit more fresh. Still has a spiciness, just of a different variety. This is honestly, it's just like more mainstream La Nuit de l'Homme. It's just taking a very small portion of that La Nuit de l'Homme existing smell, the spicy part, and just working it into something that is a little bit more designer level. La Nuit de l'Homme, of course, as a designer and wasn't really too challenging, at least I don't think so, but you know, it wasn't really, or at least it's not quite like we're used to now, or maybe that we were used to around the time this was put out. I don't know. It's just, I guess, more of a modern take, I guess. Not what everybody wanted to see. However, I still like this. I think it smells great. I think it's a great option for a lot of people who want something that is actually really wearable and still a great compliment getter at a decent price from a, you know, a really prestigious designer brand. I mean, at the end of the day, to be able to say, yeah, it's a YSL. A lot of people care about that stuff, and this is a great one for that. Another clone, Montblanc Explorer. Everybody knows this one. Creed Aventus clone. You could go for any of them. Like I was just saying there about the brand identity. You know, when it comes down to it, especially people who are just starting out, they like the designer brands. They like that name. Somebody asks them what they're wearing, you can say Montblanc. That's kind of cool. If you tell them you're wearing Armaf, nobody has ever heard of that ever. So I see why people go for the designer clones sometimes rather than the clone brands, even though, and I'll say it on record, the clone brands, the dedicated clone brands, most of the time do a better job. Having that designer instead is going to be beneficial for that reason of the fact that people like to be able to say it's a designer brand, but also a big one too that is easy to overlook, but it makes a ton of sense. Availability. You can go into any retailer and try this in person and even purchase it at full retail. You're not going to be under $100, but you could do that. And so that's appealing too. You can't go into retailers and try Armaf. Just not going to happen. So it is easier to get your nose on this one. So that's why I threw this in the video instead of Club de Nuit Intense Man or any other of the hundreds of Creed Aventus clones. It's got the birch and the citrus and stuff like that. It's not quite as depth heavy and as rich as Aventus and some of the other clones. It's a little bit more watered down designer level, which is okay. This is just something that works so remarkably well. It is a lot of people's top compliment getter, and so it's hard to beat that. It's hard to go against that. This is something that will smell good to just about everybody around you, and I think I didn't mention the price. Usually around $45 to $50 on discounters. This next one about the same price, maybe about $40, Missoni Parfum. This one has birch, grapefruit, and oak. Nice magnetic cap on there, as you can see. Cool looking presentation. It gets compared to Bleu de Chanel. They're pretty different. This one's much more woody, doesn't have that grapefruit type of pop. There's grapefruit in here, but it's not as fresh. It's like more muddled in with the woods. And then also no incense either. It's not smoky in the slightest bit. It's not, it really just isn't as fresh as Bleu de Chanel. It's not really blue fragrance leaning like Bleu de Chanel is, which kicked off that whole blue fragrance trend. It's more woody, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that this is appealing to those who want something that is just not blue fragrance, instead more of a traditional type of masculine woody smell at a very reasonable price at a parfum concentration as well. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an eau de parfum. Always forget that, but it's Missoni Parfum eau de parfum, but it still performs good for the money. Last up for this video, light blue eau intense eau de parfum as well. Again, that might trick you. It is an EDP. Just fresh, aquatic, clean, smells like vacation, legitimately smells like the beach. You know, it's salty, fresh, aquatic, just takes you right there. It really does. It transports you right to the beach, to vacation. There's a reason why light blue in the original format and the eau intense has been so successful and so popular over the years. It is just clean and fresh, and literally everybody likes this. Who doesn't like to smell like they're on vacation? Especially if you're wearing this in fall and winter time when you're kind of missing the warm weather already, or especially like in February. Super dark, super cold. You wear this, it just makes everybody in a better mood. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some of the best fragrances you can buy for under $100. This is about $50 to $70, depending on tester or not. Kind of a wide range, but that's where it falls. I will drop links to everything down below to discounters. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.